This is the season, the time of year that we set goals. It's that time of year where we decide that we've got New Year's resolutions and we go really good for a little bit and then we fail to achieve them. I'm so not about New Year's resolutions. I'm about New Year intention setting. It's an identity shifting and stepping into who we need to be to create our life and business by design. And so if you're tired of setting goals and not achieving them, and you're ready to cross this year with big goals, big vision, and being able to materialize all the things that you desire, manifest that vision into your reality, you're going to love this episode. And I would love for you to share your biggest takeaway in the comment section below. We're going to be sharing a bit of neuroscience, quantum field theory, metaphysics, energetics, behavioral science, and my absolute obsession with human potential. And that my purpose and mission really is to inspire others, especially our salon and clinic owners, to tap into their gifts, their potential, and believe they are truly worthy of creating life and business by design. And I read this the other day, 2025 in numerology is the year of 9. So 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 adds up to 9. 9 is one of the 3 numbers used in the creation of everything. It's a powerful year of massive transformation. 2025 is a year like no other in the number of completion, spiritual awakening, and transformations. This powerful energy, it invites you to release what's not serving you, heal your past wounds, and step fully into your purpose. Number 9 symbolizes the end of a cycle, paving the way for new beginnings. It's the perfect time to let go of limiting beliefs and resistance. Align with your higher self and create a life of freedom and abundance, which is available to all of us. This is your moment to reflect, reset, and rise. In 2024, I think, was big preparation for you to declare 2025 to be your best year ever. And as we transition into a new year, it's about creating a compelling vision, a future that will pull us forward, but also release the things that are not serving you. Now, I always talk about my business and life epiphany, sitting on my bed 11, 12 years ago, having just finished a 12-hour day, and thinking, is this as good as it gets? I had nothing left in for my family at the end of the day. My relationship wasn't that great. I wasn't showing up in my business. And that was a pivotal moment for me. It was where I got to hold the mirror up and I was able to transition my whole life, to grow a $5 million a year empire. And to be able to set a mission that we wanted to inspire and treat 1 million human beings by 2024 in my Labella business, which we achieved. 1 million people. Oh my God. I wanted to create a high performance team, creating my personal brand, my skin program, my podcast, speaking on stages to thousands of people, for my mentor Kerwin in our industry events. Speaking on stage was my number one fear, buying my dream home and living a life that I never thought was possible. And now having a coaching business, the School of Mastery, where I get to empower salon and clinic owners, to create their life and business by design. And all of this was due to me becoming the master of myself. And I'm going to share with you some of my biggest learnings, and I hope you can take something really amazing away from this. And what I'm going to share with you changed my life, and I hope that it absolutely changes mine. But before I start, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving up your time. Where we first need to start is we need to start and get clear on what it is that we actually want. This is the most important part of creating your dream life in business. This may seem basic, but most people come into the new year focused on what they don't want. I don't want to be overweight anymore. I don't want to have fear and experience financial insecurity. I don't want to be undisciplined. You get to get really clear and focused on what you do want. You have to know what you want. Get clarity on your desires. Desire is the catalyst for change. All change starts with a desire for something. Whatever you desire is meant for you. You're meant to receive it at some point. And before I started doing the work on myself, I was operating from an energy of trying to prove myself. rather than an energy of clarity, purpose, impact. And having that epiphany was so amazing, because what it did is it got me really clear on what I really wanted, not what I thought I wanted or what I thought based on what other people thought I wanted, but it was what I truly wanted. The podcast, the skin program, the high performance team, the beautiful, healthy body, more profit in my business, my dream home, my spiritual connection. I didn't know how I was going to get all these things, but what I did is I got super clear on what I actually wanted. It all came from a desire and being clear on what it is that I wanted. Now, 2024, there's been a lot of people that have experienced a lot of challenges. And I know in our community, yes, there's been a lot of challenges, but there's been also huge growth, like extraordinary growth. So the key to be clear on what you really want. And Napoleon Hill talks about it in his book, Think and Grow Rich. And if you haven't read this book, I'd really encourage you to download it now. It's where he interviews, back in the day, 500 of the richest men back in the day, and there's 13 principles, and one of them is burning desires. It's about the power of imagination for you to be able to materialize and create what you want and have it and get really super clear on what it is and why it's important. Lots of people don't take the time to really tap into what they really want and wonder why they're experiencing a Bill Murray Groundhog Day type of experience. And I hope you know that movie back in the 90s where Bill Murray keeps living the same day over and over and over again. And most of us feel like we're living the same year over and over again. And, if we have to think about last year, how much growth did you actually have? Were you clear on what you really wanted? So how do we go from being stuck to creating our dream life and business? And no matter what you want, what problems you're experiencing, this one mental shift will shift everything for you. And let's understand how reality works, how we have created the life, the relationship, the health, the business. We've created all of this, all of it. We've created everything that's happening in our reality right now. My mentor Kerwin taught me that what we make matters. So what he meant by that is that your thoughts are things, and that you're creating your reality based on what you focus on, and that becomes your reality. What you focus on becomes material in your life. Human beings were very interesting species because we're vibrational translators as well, meaning that everything is energy and everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. We have this ability to take an idea, which is simply just energy, and make it a reality in our lives, make it material. We can bring it into the realm of physics or physicality. The great teacher Neville Goddard talks about the fourth dimension and how we're able to create from the fourth dimension and bring that into our third dimensional reality. Our five senses are picking up a frequency of what we call energy, translating that into what we see, what we hear, taste, touch, and feel. You have the ability to create your own reality by focusing on specific things. So what you make mattifies. So I want you to think about on a daily basis what you're making matter. Are you making matter what you want? Or are you making matter what you don't want? Your problems, the situations, circumstances. Are you making matter your goals and dreams? Or are you making matter the absence of the things that you want? Are you paying attention to not having enough money? Are you paying attention to the problems in your business? Are you paying attention to that there's not enough team members? What are you making matter? Or are you spending your time on the things that you want, or are you making matter the things that you don't want? What we do is make the reality that we matter, it comes into our reality, what we really focus on. And we pay attention to what we, attention to what we have created versus paying attention to what we want. So what I mean by that is the mistake most people make is when we want, when we're wanting to make changes in our life, when we tend to focus on the absence of the thing. And then we want to, solve the problem. There's a gap. We pay attention to not having enough time. We focus on not having enough money. We pay attention to or run the story that there isn't any good team members out there. We start to give meaning to the absence of money, that money's hard to make. I don't have enough time. And you're observing these gaps in your current reality, and your brain starts to deliver more of that. What we believe, the core programs that we adopt as a child, the conditioning, the coding, forces upon you, that are forced upon you by other people, determine how you think as an adult. So if you believe money is hard to make, which was one of the belief systems that I had to work hard, that I had to hustle and grind to make money, these belief systems, these core programs determine what you think. And you can only have the thoughts that are in alignment to what you think. Your thoughts produce your emotions. You experience the thought as a feeling, and your feelings, happy, sad, angry, joy, stressed, overwhelmed, peace, calm, these are all seed, or contribute to the actions that you take, or the actions that you don't take. These determine what you do, the behaviors, the actions. Thoughts become feelings. Feelings become our actions, which will determine our results. You start to show up in the world as your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, and this is how you take actions and we produce results. This becomes our reality. So look at your life, look at all the results that potentially you're not loving. Whatever you believe becomes your reality. Thoughts become things, and what you make mattifies. We get so addicted to the reality, the emotions that we feel, and I see this a lot. And so one of the things for me was I was so addicted to being busy. Busy was, I was just always running at this fast pace, and so I got used to and addicted to the cortisol, the adrenaline in my body. So when I wasn't experiencing that, it was very unfamiliar. So I would do all these things to make sure that I always sat in, that adrenaline rush, that cortisol, because it didn't feel familiar to me if I wasn't in that state of being. And I always talk about our primal state and our powerful state of being. Our primal state of being is when we're contracted, when we are sitting in fight, flight, or freeze, rather than when we're in our powerful state of being. It's calm, it's our creative, it's our intuition, it's our intelligence. When we sit in our primal state of being, a lot of our intelligence disappears. We're just running at such a fast pace, but it's also a contracted energy. And this is very addictive. So if you think about, right now that you don't have enough money, it's always in the future. Your dream body, it's always in the future. The business career growth is always in the future. We have this present moment. So how do we create something that isn't here in the now? And how do we pay attention to something that doesn't exist so we can make it matter and mattify? And this is the big awareness, that changed absolutely everything for me. This is the evidence that you can look at your reality right now and remember, like where I sit right now is a dream come true for me years ago. And this was something that we got to do with our business owners when we got them to look at where they were from last year and just go, wow, this was actually a dream last year. And it's being able to find the evidence that's in your current reality right now, and it's deciding it's in the here and now, and this is how we close the gap. It's finding the evidence that you are co-creating with the universe, God, source, that there is a powerful force that is with us co-creating. It's finding the abundance in your life right now so you can attract more prosperity, more opportunities in your life. Yes, you may want more money, but being grateful right now for the money that you have. It's being grateful for everything right now And this will, activate an abundance frequency inside of you. To have the bank account you love the bank account you have now. To have the business you love the business you have. To have the body you want, then love the body that you have. To have the relationship you love and want, then love the relationship you have. To have the home, the dream home and want, well, love the home that you have now. This goes for absolutely everything. We have to transform the present moment into the things that we want. It creates a frequency and pulls more of that, of what you want, from our future into the present moment. We close the gap in a very short period of time. Prosperity frequency, we find it in the present moment. So you can attract more of that. And you become a person of abundance. And, you mentally rehearse the results that you want to have. And you sit in the abundance now. But if you have scarcity mentality, that there's never enough. It's really about changing your attitude, your perspective. So it's really about knowing what you want. It's that time of year where we create vision boards. It's setting goals in your business, in your health, and in your relationships. You must establish clarity around the things that you want in your business, your relationship, your health, money, material things, experiences, and travel. Be super specific. My clients are doing this right now. Things like, and one of the things that I see is that most people don't get specific. 2025, I want to have more adventure and travel. That's not specific enough. Where do you want to travel to? What date are you going to do it? Start to take action towards that. Pop it in your diary. Look at travel agents. We have to have a compelling vision, a compelling future that pulls us forward, something that excites us. When you have clarity, when you speak it, when you write it down, when you think it, when you feel it, it ignites something in your body. Remember, the best is yet to come. Most of us are clear on what we don't want, and that energy and that mindset that we operate out of will attract more of what we don't want. Get super clear, and I know I'm banging on about this, but get super clear on what you really want. Desire is the key to creation. Clarity is the key to creation. Sitting in it, and really going to the energy of that it already exists, that you're already abundant, that you've already got the money in your bank account. Step 2. After getting really clear on what you want, most important thing is to let go of the resistance. Let go of the resistance that you have the things that you want. You have to let go of the resistance, the stories, the limiting beliefs, the habits of thought, the emotions that we hold on to from, could be from the previous year that you didn't manifest and create the things that you wanted. When you come from consciousness, your belief systems, your energy is in the right place, you will be guided. And you will start to attract more in of what you want. We need to move into the new year in the energy of knowing. Let go of the resistance. This is where self-awareness is the key. Consciousness is the key. Remember, 95% of the day we are sitting in, our subconscious mind. It's the programmed mind. And you will just keep replaying your thoughts from yesterday, your behaviors from yesterday. The feelings will be the same. If you don't consciously start to create this, look at all the results in your life right now, your health, your wealth, your business, your relationships. And I can guarantee you that you have a belief system or a story that sits there that's stopping you and sabotaging you, that may need upgrading. It's identifying that resistance. It's stepping into who you need to be before you see the results. Now, let me share a couple of stories with you. I remember when I launched the Skin Fit 90 program. I had 130 people sign up to the webinar that I was running. It was a 12-week skin program by the Skin Whisperer. It was where we sent products out, and it was a beautiful, 12-week program that educated beautiful humans on how to have beautiful, healthy skin. And I did a consult, and then they got sent the program. It was so amazing. And so I had like 130 people sign up to the webinar. I had 36 people to show up, and not one person bought. Okay, so you can imagine all my limiting beliefs came up. I was focused on what wasn't working. I was making, people, that it didn't work matter more than just going, hey, you know what? I just need to go back and do this again. And it brought up all these, this resistance, I'm not good enough. I'm not good with technology. People don't want to buy this. Like, it brought up a lot of insecurities, a lot of resistance, that inner dialogue, the emotions of not feeling enough. Things weren't working out for me. All those kind of things started to come up for me. And so I had to really catch myself out and go, hold on a minute. Let's go back and debrief it. What was the objective? Did I get the results? No. What was the reasons why? The messaging wasn't right. We realized that the messaging wasn't right. I hadn't primed the audience enough. I really didn't get to them to see the value in that Skin Fit 90 program. Now, it took me 3 goes before we hit the jackpot with that launch. And, I could have given up. 137 people signed up to the webinar, 37 showed up, and I didn't get one sale. I did it again, and the same thing happened. On the 3rd time, I just kept refining it. I never gave up. And I had to keep removing the resistance as it come up. Those limitations, those limiting beliefs. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. And, it's different for everybody, what comes up for us. We have to find the resistance. So we've got to get clear on what we want. We've got to start to take action. And this doesn't happen, sometimes as quickly as we want. Then we make it mean something. And that's what I did, when I first did, that launch for the Skin Fit 90 program. It started to make it mean that I wasn't good enough. It had nothing to do with it. But that's our go-to, the inner dialogue that we start to, if we don't get enough likes on social media, if we don't have enough money in our bank account, we make it mean something. So we've got to get super clear on what we want. The thoughts and beliefs that trigger when things don't go our way. And this is what we've got to really get super clear of. Those thoughts, those stories that potentially that you've been holding on to for a long time. If you're not getting the business growth you want, if you're not getting the body you want, if you're not getting the money that you want, if you're not getting the team that you want, if you're not got the relationship that you want, it's a mirror. And it's what's going to reflect the patterns of thinking or the emotions that could be a resistance that's standing in the way from you logically wanting to create and manifest all these things this year. But you've got this inner dialogue, all these thought processes and patterns and emotions that are playing here in your subconscious mind. And so it's really the most important part is letting go of the resistance, letting go of the attachments, and knowing that there is a higher intelligence, and it starts with the energy flow in you. And a really good way, or an exercise that I've done before, is coming up with what are the limitations, getting super clear on what they are. What are the belief systems that I'm holding on to, that I have to work hard in my business? My business won't survive if I'm not in the treatment room 60 hours a week. I know that you guys are going to be able to resonate with this, because it's one of the things that I deal with a lot of salon and clinic owners. It's conditioning and coding. Our money story most of the time is not even ours. It's been conditioned and coded on us through society, through our parents. It's what we've seen. I saw a lot of fights when it came to money when I was growing up. So for me, I buried my head in the sand when it came to money. I avoided it at all costs because I attached it to pain. I attached it to dysfunction. And so we got to dive deep into, finding the resistance, the limiting beliefs, the inner dialogue, and being able to release them. And so it's consciously becoming really aware of them. Look at your results. Think about the thought process that's around it. Now, what would you be? Is it true? Is it really true? What would you be without that thought? Like, it's such a beautiful process that if you can do that, divide the page up, write it as if, that result that you do want, and not be focused on what you don't want. Most people focus on what they don't want. And so any limitation, is it true? Now, is it true that I needed to be in the treatment room 60 hours a week for my business to survive? Now, at first I was like, oh yes, bit of ego, but is it really true? No. What would I be without that thought? And then it's like, well, what actions would I take? It gave me the opportunity to step into becoming an incredible leader, to creating a high performance team, for me to then share my wisdom, my gifts with my team, and to create this beautiful business, like unbelievable. And I haven't done it all on my own. I've had beautiful mentors that have been on this journey with me to be able to help me with this. And, it's a really great time for us to look at our personal energetic frequency and where are we operating from? Fear, frustration, stress, overwhelm. These are low vibrational frequencies. And it means that we're contracted, and it means that abundance is not available to us. Remember that we are a vessel of energy, and we are vibrating at certain frequencies for every desire. Every desire that we want is there. We wouldn't be able to think it if we weren't be able to have it into our reality. And so what we've got to do is transform our spiritual vessel to be able to hold the energy and build our capacity. This is why I love spirituality. Now, when I talk about spirituality, it's leading an inspired life. It's becoming the spiritual vessel to manifest all the things. It's getting clear on your desires, and everything that's meant for you is already in existence. And, it's waiting for you to manifest it. And so every day we get to create a vessel to draw to us the manifestations. Or are we, taking action or having thought process that are shrinking or repelling and pushing away everything that we desire? When we are not creating our desires, we blame things outside ourselves. People, circumstances, family members, the economy. Every time we blame anything outside of ourselves, we are shrinking our energetic frequency. So, it's really tapping into looking and finding where there's resistance, where you're not getting the results that you want, getting super clear on what it is that you actually want. When we operate from no resistance, when you don't attract the money, the followers, when we start to give meaning to things, that our business is a reflection of our worth, it's not. But if we can get you to stay in flow and know that you're co-creating, that you start to have the ideas, when you can be super clear on what it is you want, you start to remove the resistance. What happens is you start to have ideas, belief systems, stories that align with what you do want. So we need to get clear on our desires, remove the resistance, to step into as if it's already happened. And then what we need to do is take inspired actions. The moment you have a desire, then drop the resistance, then life, universe starts to coordinate and bring people, situations, circumstances, results, podcasts, learnings, mentors into your awareness. And this is when we have synchronicities and innovations, and, they get put before us. And this is so amazing. The moment you have a desire, all the intelligence, universe, God, whatever you want to call it, the higher power begins to move to materialize that desire for you. And so you've got to sit in that frequency of you've already got it. And the ideas, the people, circumstances, situations get activated in the quantum field, that energy that surrounds all of us, and it begins to find its way into your 3D reality. You come from empowered thoughts and emotions, remembering everything is energy. You produce actions that resonate with your frequency, and you start to see your reality change. And a lot of the time we don't actually need to know the how. That will come once you're clear on what it is that you want. This year I want $1 million business, but all you're focused on is the how. When you have a desire and you get clear and get rid of the resistance between you and that desire, you can imagine the outcome. You start to think about the $1 million businesses. You start to imagine the money in your bank account. You start to imagine the more impact in your business. You start to visualize it, feel it. And as Bob Proctor says, the OG of personal transformation, I recommend his book, You Were Born Rich. Thoughts become things, and if you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. See it, feel it, believe it, do it. What are you attracting into your life right now? Look at your results for the answers. Our imagination is a gift, and this is why I'm such a big fan of visualization tools. I used to visualize my day every single day. Remember, your brain doesn't know the difference between what is reality and what's imagined. So if you are, willing to imagine, and it should be a part of your daily practice, notwithstanding action. Action is huge here. You don't just sit there and visualize things and it's going to happen. That's not going to happen. You have to take inspired actions. But what you do is you start to activate a future in your brain that hasn't happened, and you start to rewire your brain to what you do want. And this is how we close the gap. You start to have new thoughts, new ideas. You become the plan. They become the how. You start to vibrate at a different frequency. You sit in a knowing. You start attracting people, circumstances, opportunities into your life. Let me share with you this beautiful home that I live in. I know a lot of you have probably seen it on my socials. Oh my gosh. I had been imagining this home for 8 months before we bought it. I didn't know how I was going to get it. I just imagined it. I wanted land. I wanted a pool. I got super specific on what I wanted. And I just allowed it to naturally unfold and, visualized and trusted the process. Did I have to take actions? Yes. So if you think about the synchronicities and the things that came forward, once I got clear on what it was, I picked up the paper. I normally never read the paper. And there was an article in there of me, of this house. I rang the real estate agent. I said, can we go and have a look at this house? We drove out here. As soon as I hit the driveway, I knew this was my dream home. Okay, I just knew it as soon as I walked in. Now, I'm going to get real juicy with you why, it was $900,000 for this house. They had $1 million on it. My husband was like, we can't afford that. I was like, yes, we can. But I had to take action. One, I needed to believe that I could do it. And then all as I did was saw myself inside this house. We rang the real estate agent. We sold our house. Our house sold in 24 hours, the house that we're in. We got to put an offer in on here. They took it. Now, this house, I don't know how it didn't sell. Like, it's just the synchronicities that happen when it comes to something like that. It just blows my absolute mind. I know there was a lot of farmers that looked at this house, but it was in the drought, and a lot of people were a little bit conscious out where we live. I live in the country, of spending money. This house is worth over $2 million now. Like, I just go, it was the absolute deal of the century. We've just about paid it off. Did I have to take action? Yes. I had a vision first, though. So, it's really amazing how once you get clear on it, exactly what you want, and then trusting the process, but most of all, trusting yourself. And I see this a lot. Most business owners do not trust themselves. They don't trust that they can lead their team to greatness. They don't trust that they can show up on social media and share their magic. They don't trust and feel that they deserve to have an exceptional pay packet every single week. So, it's really trusting yourself, getting clear on your vision, removing the resistance, finding the limitations, the that self-talk that's potentially going on. Remember, there is an inner dialogue going all the time. Get conscious of what that is. Be mindful of every word you're speaking. Stop coming from scarcity. Stop speaking the reality that you've got now into existence, and that's why you're getting more of it. Start to speak from your goals, desires, dreams. But then you have to take action. Inspired daily action. You have to put a plan in place. A business plan, a health plan, a money plan. Planning is essential. Everybody knows that I am such a fan of planning. And what it does is a starting point. It moves you towards your desires. Instead of sitting in self-sabotage, overwhelm, indecision, taking daily actions to the things that you want, but also enjoying your life. And you know what? It's not really about achieving the goals. It's who you become on the journey. It's the capacity building. It's the identity shifting. And I want you to think about in your life when your business is going well. I want you to think about when you feel your best, when there's money flowing in the door. This is when we sit in momentum, in flow, and I can guarantee you it's when you're being your best you, that you're getting enough sleep, that you are making sure you fuel your body properly, that you're drinking enough water, that you're engaged with powerful people in our community. Oh my God, there's just this beautiful energy of support, love, ideas, creativity, this beautiful coaching community of, I think we've got 39 amazing women that are in there that are just incredible. And they have all just absolutely smashed all of their goals and dreams last year. Some of them have been able to double their businesses. Some of them we've got 12 millionaires that came into that hit the $1 million mark last year. We've got a couple that are this far from the multiple 7 figures. So incredible. And they've done this, with less hours and started to really, tap into that money story, find the resistance, find the stories that are holding them back. Then taking really inspired action. And it's coming from an incredible frequency as well. When we feel good, we create at such a high level. Now, does that mean that we're gonna fall down? But it's the ability to be able to hold yourself and get back as quickly as you can. Remember, we're having a human experience. The shit is going to hit the fan. You're going to have shit that's going to come at you. But what you want to do is, be ready for it. It's not about hustle and grind. That way of thinking is done. It's not about suffering to be successful. I see my dad still work 100 hours a week. That's what I thought I had to do to have a successful business. It's not. It's being powerful in the moments that you are in your business. You don't have to burn yourself out. And remember, burnout doesn't come from the amount of hours that you work. It comes from the emotions that you bring to your work. Let that land. I've got, I speak to some people and they go, and I go, how many hours are you working? And they go, 22. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and you're absolutely burnt out. It's because they're addicted to their emotions, the thought processes, their inner dialogue. They're not taking the self-mastery. This is the key here. And it's clarity on what you want, your desires. So much clarity. It's, but having gratitude for the here and the now. Seeing the evidence of what you've already created. It's enough evidence to know that you are a creative being, that you can actually be, do, have, and create anything that you want. The evidence is already there. You're probably sitting in the dream from 12 months or a couple of years ago. And sitting more in that abundant energy, that creation energy. It's removing the resistance. Look, start to unleash the limitations, the limiting beliefs, the thought processes, the sabotaging actions, the patterns that are not serving you. And I guess this is a really good segue into, maybe it's a stop doing list. What is your stop doing list? Sometimes it's not about doing more, it's about stopping doing more. Stop mindless scrolling. Stop pressing snooze when the alarm goes off. Stop being busy and giving your energy to low value activities. Stop not valuing your time. Stop not loving yourself. Stop being in a rush. What do you need to stop doing? And, maybe start that list. Remember, your life is a reflection of who you believe you are, a reflection of your standards and your habits. Start to expect more from yourself. Set your standards, your habits. Set them high. I had a high performance business because my standards were so extremely high. And then I took massive action. Massive action. Every single day you need an action plan. You need at least 3 high value actions that you're taking every single day to, sit in the knowing, but also take that inspired action. When you start to take inspired action, when you start to step into your courage and you're doing things that you normally wouldn't do, the higher power, the universe, whatever you want to call it, sees that you are actually serious, and things start to move quickly to you. So, it's really, stepping into those things. Know what you want. Be really clear on that. Drop the resistance. Thoughts do become things, and you will create your own reality. Everything in your reality you've created based on your belief systems and the way that you think and feel, because that will determine the actions and the behaviors that you actually take, which creates your results. Okay? So not having enough money is a result of the behaviors that you have around money. If you're scared and have a money story, your team are going to have that. So it's a really good way to contemplate everything right now. This is the stuff that absolutely changed my life, is really, really tapping into the human that we are and how this universe actually works. And it may feel a bit woo-woo. I'm trying to give it to you in a way that's simple, easy for you to understand. But there is a higher power that sits there. But if you don't believe that, you're going to continue to live your 3D reality, and you're going to get that Groundhog Day. It's, being able to activate from the 4th dimension, the quantum world. Remember, as humans, the great thing about it is that we can think, everything that's been created was started as a thought, an idea, imagination. Look at everything that's material around us. Planes, phones, drink bottles, computers, look at it all. It all started with imagination, creativity, a thought. And those thoughts then become things. It's taking action to make it come into the reality. And then, as I said, we need to take inspired action. And also be energetically aligned to that which you might be turning the dial up, moving out of those scarcity, non-serving frequencies and into, moving up to just gratitude. It will change your state of being. Gratitude for everything that you've got now. You want to create the perfect body, be grateful for your body that you've got. You want to create more money, be grateful for the money that's in your bank account. You want to create a fucking incredible business, be grateful for the business that you've got. You want to have a high-performing team, be grateful for the team that you've already got. This is the key. And then inspired action. We do our planning every 3 months. My coaching clients have already got their plans. They're getting really clear on everything else that they want to create this year. And, all of us are designed for abundance in all areas of our life. And the only thing that stops us is ourselves. So I hope this has been really thought-provoking. The School of Mastery is something really special. We're going to be opening the doors soon. I've got a few different ways that you can work with me, and that is in our School of Mastery, which can be in our group program, For me, the collective energy, oh my gosh, I think our collective energy, we did 29 million of contribution to the beauty and skin industry last year. Like, it was crazy, the amount, the revenue of our business owners combined. We've got some short courses. For me, 5 key areas. We need to master ourselves. We need to master our financials and our money mindset. We need to master our culture and leadership. We need to master our sales process and our client experience. And we need to master our socials and our marketing. These are the things that we need to have, really good routines around, and that's our core areas that we talk about. And yeah, so reach out if you want to have a little bit of a chat. If you've loved this episode, please share this with your fellow skin and beauty clinic owners. And I'd love you to leave me a review, a comment. Let me know what's been your biggest takeaway. I've tried to really come with this information at a really, really basic level. But obviously, the more that we understand about ourselves, the more that we can create the life and business by design. I love this teaching. Self-mastery is always the key and fundamentals for everything. We also run a beautiful retreat, which we've got in March. And if you'd like to be a part of that, that is where it's just self-mastery. Because, we master you, we master your business, we master your relationship, we master your health, we master everything. However, you've got to start taking action. Action, action, action. And what I see is a lot of business owners do not take the action. They want it, but they're not prepared to do what it takes to get there. And so it's not hustle and grind. It's about being more and being strategic and, move out of those busy activities and move into that more, things that are actually going to propel our business forward, the needle moving activities. And that's empowering our team, having a great sales process, consultation process, an impeccable client experience. It's having meeting rhythms in your business that's empowering your team. It's looking at your financials and seeing the opportunities. And it's you stepping into self-leadership, which will then trickle down into being able to lead in your business, which will then trickle down into your client experience, which will trickle down into your business being abundant, sustainable. Our clients work on 30 to 40% profitability, and I'm loving watching them achieve this. It's been amazing. We build abundance chests. There's so much, and I just love it. But Happy New Year, guys. I hope you've been able to get some beautiful aha moments out of this. And reach out if there's anything that you would like to know more of. I love you guys. Happy New Year's. And I know 2025, I've declared it. It is going to be the best year of my life. This year, it's all about prosperity is my theme for this year. Prosperity, prosperous bank account, prosperous body, prosperous relationships, prosperous manifestations, money coming into my bank account. And the traits that I'm going to really step into is courage, confidence, commitment, consistency, and curiosity. So our coaching clients have really stepped into this, and it's beautiful. So I invite you to find your theme word and, the traits that you really want to move forward with you into 2025. I love you guys. Have a beautiful afternoon. And as I said, share this, and I'll talk to you soon.